So a little bit of a recap of what you guys had started with. We are going to start over here with angles on a straight line. So when we add these two angles together, we would get 180 degrees. Who remembers? Because remember in geometry, you always have to have a statement and then you have to have a reason. So this down here, this is kind of like our statement. Who thinks that they can tell me if they remember what a reason would be for something like this? Okay, Cecile, I see that hand. I'm coming for you. You can unmute on your side and let me know what this reason would be.
It would be angles on a straight line.
Beautiful, 100%, nice. And because we're fancy mathematicians, we can sort of make a few of the words, we can shorten them. So we can just write STR for straight, that's meaning straight. We can use this little symbol. Guys, my kids in the class always tease me about my angle sign because it never looks like an angle sign. So I'm just going to apologize now for all of them that you see in this lesson. It always looks like a C. That just means angles. And some of your teachers might actually want you to write adjacent angles on a straight line. Can someone in the chat tell me what adjacent means? Someone in the chat. What does adjacent mean? Tell me sort of like a much easier word than adjacent. Because adjacent can be confusing. What is adjacent? Yes, beautiful. Oliver, exactly, next to. So adjacent just means next to. So basically this angle over here is next to that angle over there, which means they are adjacent. Okay, and so some of your teachers may want you to write that in the beginning. It just helps us remember that they have to be next to each other in order to equal 180 degrees. Okay, beautiful. They share a common arm. I love that language. That's excellent. Yes, they definitely do. So in this case, they would be sharing this arm over here. That would be our common arm. Nice job, guys. Okay, so let's try and put this to work. Let me try and zoom out a little bit so you've got both. I would like you to find the value of X for me. Remember, when you're writing this, you need to write your statements and your reason, and then tell me what my answer for X is. As soon as you have an answer, you can chuck it in the chat, and then we can go through this one together. Remember, take your time, do it on your side. Don't just sort of work it out on your calculator. The more practice you get with geometry, the better you will be, I promise. It's all about practice. I don't think my writing is as neat as Kat's, but I'm going to try for you guys. So give this one a go. What we're trying to do here is we are trying to find the value of X, which means we need to start by writing a statement, and that statement is going to land up looking like some kind of equation. Okay, so I'm seeing a 90 degrees. This little box over here, that's a nice way of telling us that it's 90 degrees. So that area would be 90 degrees. X is going to be a little bit smaller than 90. Ooh, okay, we're getting some answers in. Don't forget to give your reason. Nice. I'm going to show you, I'm going to write this out step by step and show you where you would get all of your marks. The best thing about geometry, guys, is you get so many marks for such a nice, easy question. Okay, I'm seeing lots of answers in the chat, so I'm going to start writing this out. So I'm going to say X, my X is not very, there we go. X plus 44 degrees plus 90 degrees needs to equal 180 degrees. And my reason for that is angles on a straight line. Okay. This part you can just do with your calculator or in your head. So I'm just going to show you what's happening. We're just moving these guys onto the other side because it's an equation. So remember what's an equation, it moves onto that side and then its sign changes because it was plus. Now it's going to become minus. So we're going to minus 44. We're going to minus 90. And we are going to see that our beautiful answer, so we're going to say, therefore, x is equal to 46 degrees. And that is where we are going to be done. Yes, absolutely. You can say supplementary angles, 100%. Okay, so how would this be marked? You would get a mark for writing out your first statement. You'd get a mark for having your correct reason. Now, the tricky thing here is if you don't give a reason, often they don't also give you the mark for the statement. So it's kind of like a 2 or nothing situation. And then you'll get a mark for your answer of x equals 46 degrees. Tell me how this went. Can you guys give me a number? Or it doesn't even have to be a number. It can be an emoji. So either choose a number between 0 and 10, 10 being amazing, 0 being awful, or an emoji to show me how this question went. Nice. And if you came late, if you didn't hear the explanation, don't panic. Remember, all the lessons are recorded, so you'll be able to see it again soon. Oh my goodness, 10,000. Love it. Wait, what takes you from 9.5 to 10? What would be that last half that we're missing? That's what I'm curious about. Okay, so don't panic. The statement is always just how we are going to find the variable that we're looking for. So basically, we're making ourselves an equation. In this case, we can see that all of these adjacent angles, so this angle plus this angle plus this angle would equal 180 degrees. So we're just writing that in a form of an equation. So we're saying x plus 44 plus 90 needs to equal 180. Now, the reason we know that they have to equal 180 is because when we have adjacent angles on a straight line, it always equals 180. So that reason is going to go with that logic that we've used for our statement. And then this part over here is just calculating our equation. Yeah, Atenda, how can I help? Okay. All right, if you want to take a screenshot of angles on a straight line, let me zoom out a little bit for you so that you can. Oh, maybe that's a bit much, sorry. And then we're going to move on to our next reason. We're going to go through 2 more reasons today, and by the end of this lesson, we're going to work on some parallel lines, which is very exciting. Okay. Please remember that if there's things that you're not understanding along the way, just post your questions. We will get to them. Okay. So our next reason is when we do angles around a point. Okay, some of your teachers say revolution, but it's the same thing. Okay, so when we have all of these angles, if we add all of them together, they are all around this point over here. And so if we add E and F and G and H, we would get 360 degrees. Okay, so we can say angles around a point. And that's what this one's going to look like. We can say angles around a point. Some of your teachers say revolution. Some of your teachers say angles around a point equal 360. All of those are fine. You must do exactly what your teacher is wanting you to write. Exactly, Dwayne, or revolution, 100%. Okay, so let's try a question using this logic. Okay, so we've got this little question over here. This is the point that we'd be dealing with. Now, instead of a question mark, let's make this a variable. So let's make this, what letter should we call it, guys? First letter I see in the chat is what it's going to be. What letter should we call it? X. Don't worry, Oliver. We could have gone with any letter of the alphabet. doesn't even want me to write X. That's how sad it is. So, let's see. I think. Ooh. All right. Guys, while my OneNote is having a small temper tantrum, can you please try and find the value of X for me? X is going to be where our question mark was. Looking like you're doing some great work. Please don't forget to give your reasons, guys. Remember, you want to write your statement and your reason. There we go. Okay, let's try and write this out. So we're going to say our statement, we're going to say X plus 56 plus 46 plus 98 needs to equal 360 degrees. And our reason for that is going to be angles around a point. Now, some of you might find it easier to add those on the left-hand side before moving it over, which you absolutely can do. So 56 plus 46 plus 98 is going to give us 200. So over here, we can say X plus 200 is equal to 360. So all of those together equal this 200 over here. And then we would say X is equal to 360 minus 200. Therefore, X is equal to 160 degrees. And again, just so you know where the marks would be, you'd get a mark for your statement, a mark for your reason, and a mark for your answer. Okay, so I see vertically opposite angles popping in here. This one isn't going to be vertically opposite angles because for that to be a case, we need two straight lines. And this one, the line isn't going all the way through that center point. We're going to look, the next one we do is going to be vertically opposite angles though. Yeah, revolution, totally fine to say revolution because we are going all the way around that. Nice job, guys. Hopefully this is bringing back some memories. I'm going to zoom out again so you can take a screenshot if you would like of angles around a point. And then we are going to go into vertically opposite angles. You're doing great, guys. Nice job. Okay. So angles around a point is when we have these adjacent angles. So all of these angles in here are next to each other. So we can see this angle, this angle, this angle, and this angle. They're all next to each other. They all go around that point. And so if we add them all up together, we need to get 360 degrees. Sum of exterior angles of a revolution. So I would say no, because exterior angles are actually something a little bit different. If we have a triangle that looks like this angle over here would be considered the exterior angle. So I would say no to that reason, but if you just said sum of angles of a revolution, that would be fine. You're most welcome. Okay, so our next rule is vertically opposite angles. Who thinks that they can tell me the sort of shorthand way of writing this rule? What do we write when we get given this rule? Beautiful, exactly. That's all we have to say. So in this case, you would be saying that this X over here is equal to that x over there, or that y is equal to that y. And our reason is nice and easy. Vert up angles are equal. Let's kind of break down what that is meaning. That is saying vertically. That is saying opposite. Then we've got our funny angle sign, and then just an equal sign. So we're saying the angles that are opposite each other are equal to each other. Now, this rule, I like to think of it as the bow tie rule. So you have to have a straight line, and you have to have a straight line, and you have to be able to make it into a bow tie in order to use vertically opposite angles. Yes, Tando, how can I help?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
I just wanted to find out on the reasoning. I
Mhm.
see that you wrote vert up angles. I just wanted to find out, what if you write the full reasoning like in full? Will it still be correct even though you wrote that, or are you supposed to write it the short way?
No, it absolutely is correct to write it out the full way. The only reason we start getting used to writing it with the shorthand is as you start getting into the higher grades, you're going to have to write a lot of reasons. And so they take a long time. So it's a way of saving you time when the questions get longer.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So let's just quickly have a look up here, because we had someone who wanted to say vertically opposite angles in this one, and I want to show you why it's not. Okay, so like we said, we need to get that bow tie. If I went onto that line, I need to go straight, and there's no line there. And if I went here, oh goodness, if I went here, I'd also need to go straight, and there's no line there. So I can't create my bow tie, which is why I can't do vertically opposite angles in that question. But I definitely can with this one over here. So this one should be really nice and easy. What is my answer for y? What is my answer for y? You're most welcome. Yes, beautiful, guys. Good. So let's draw our bow tie, just so that we get into the habit of it. There's our one straight line. There's our other straight line. We can create a bow tie, so we know we can do vertically opposite angles. So that means that this angle is going to equal that angle. So we can say y is equal to 86 degrees, and our reason is going to be vert up angles are equal. Let's try to take this up a notch, because you guys are such brain buffs. I want you to tell me what W is. And then I want you to tell me what Z is. Don't forget to give me your reasons. Yes, Destabile, how can I help?
Ma'am, for the previous one, ma'am.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. How would you work this out? This one here.
There's nothing you can work out here, because they haven't given you any angles. They're just using this as an example to show you which ones would be equal.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Yes, guys. Beautiful answers coming into the chat. I love it. So I'm going to write it out as an equation. I'm going to say W plus 86 degrees needs to equal 180. So I'm saying this plus this, because they are angles on a straight line. So then we can say W is equal to 180 minus 86, which means a W is equal to 94 degrees. Last one, what is Z? What is Z? This one should feel nice and easy now. You can do it lots of different ways, but there's one way which would be the quickest one. You'd be able to do it in one line. Now that we know what W is. Yes, good. It will absolutely be 94 because they are also vertically opposite. So we can actually just say, therefore, Z is also equal to 94 degrees because of vert up angles being equal. Now, you know, when I said that you get so many marks for geometry, I'm going to use this as an example of how many marks you would get for a crazy question like this. You would get 1, 2, 3, 4, probably just for the 94 there, 5, 6 marks for a question like this. How crazy is that? Those are like marks you can just pop right into your pocket. Go into that test, know you're going to do great. Amazing. Very exciting. These are the joys of geometry. You can take a screenshot if you'd like one. And then we'll move down. Please, guys, if you have questions as we're working, ask away. Don't be scared of me. Froze it or bite. No, Sandile, maybe 2 out of 6 now, but in time, you're going to get 6 out of 6. Okay. Let's move down. Okay, so in this question, we are trying to identify different things. So we've got a few different words here that I want us to just go over and make sure that we all know. So adjacent, we've already spoken about. So we know that adjacent means next to, okay? So we know that that's what that one means, or you can think of common on, okay? Vertical angles, when we're thinking of vertically opposite angles, that's what we just did now. That's when you're going to be thinking of like your bow tie situation, okay? What does complementary mean? What does complementary angles mean? Who can tell me? Oh, so we've got some people saying 90 and we've got some people saying 180. So complementary angles, they add up to 90 degrees and supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees. So I'm going to tell you a nice easy way to remember this. Okay, when you think of complementary angles, it's like a complement, and to complement someone is the right thing to do, and 90 degrees is the right angle. So if you complement someone, it's 90 degrees. And if that doesn't work for you, if you think of gym people, when you take lots of supplements, you take those supplements to try and get bigger. And so it would be the bigger version. So there's always 90 and 180. So supplements, if you're taking something more, you're trying to get bigger. So then it would be 180. Nice job, guys. You did really well there. Exactly. It's like steroids. Think of it as the steroids will take you to 180 degrees. Okay, so let's try and work through this step by step. I would love a volunteer for these answers. So if you feel confident in your answers, please pop your hands up for me. I would like to know my answer for angles 1 and 2. What would you classify them as? Adjacent, vertical, complementary, or supplementary? Which one do you think you would say? If you think you know, pop that hand up. You guys are letting Setabile carry this class for you. There's no one else feeling brave. Yay! Sundile, hello.
Hello, ma'am.
Okay, can you give me an answer for A?
I think it's supplementary.
So it's not going to add up to 180, just these two together. What do they share? They have something. They've got this guy over here. They share that. What does that make them?
Adjacent.
Yes, yay, nice job. Beautiful, well done. Well done. Okay, so 1 and 2 are adjacent angles. Nice. All right, let's look at our next one. So we've got B. We're looking at angles 1 and angles 4. What would angle 1 and 4? Yes, guys. Beautiful. Remember, we can create a little bow tie over here if we went on our straight lines. There we go. We've got a nice little bow tie. Let's see. Oh, Oliver, I saw your hand, but then you put it down. I think it's because I answered. I'm sorry. Next one's all yours. So these ones are going to be vertically opposite angles. Okay. Next one, we have got angles 3 and 4. So this one and this one. What are they? Absolutely, they are adjacent. I like it. They are adjacent. What else are they? Oliver, can you help me? What else are these two angles?
Ma'am, it's complementary.
Yes, beautiful. They are complementary angles. 100%. Nice job. Okay, and last one we've got over here, we've got angles 4 and 5. So we've got this one and this one. What are they? Fancy, can you help me with this one?
Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you beautifully.
They are supplementary angles.
Good. Are they only supplementary angles? Are they anything else?
I think they adjacent, ma'am.
Beautiful. They are also adjacent because they are right next to each other. Nice job. 100%. Cool. Okay. Little brain buffs in this class. Exactly. Adjacent and supplementary. 100%. Okay. If you would like to take a screenshot, please feel free. We're going to then just talk about, oh, I see the time. Let's quickly jump to our brain break after this, and then we'll talk about some parallel line. Just going to give you a moment to take a screenshot if you would like one. Okay. Let's quickly pop down to our brain break. There we are. Okay. How does Teacher Cat normally do these when you have a would you rather? Do you put your answers in the chat?
She does both. So everyone replies in the chat, but people do raise their hands and she talks to one person at a time and reads the comments all at the same
Okay.
time.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, so we've got our first one. Would you rather break the camera on your phone or the screen on your phone? What would you rather do? Let's see. All right, Congelo, can you tell me, what would you rather do?
Ma'am, I'd rather break the camera.
Okay, what's your reason for that?
Ma'am, because if I break my phone, my screen, ma'am, is gonna be ruined. But I don't even care about the camera, so I'm
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You need your screen. Sure. It seems like generally lots of people are saying camera. Okay, let's go on to our next one. Would you rather forget the words while singing in public or be off key when you're singing? Which one would you prefer? Would you rather forget the words while singing in public or be off key? Wade, what is your answer here?
I think I'd rather be off key than rather singing.
So, but that means you'd be off key for the whole song, hey?
I don't mind as long as I can sing, then that's okay.
Okay. So we've got some, forget the word, some off key. I think I'd prefer to forget the words. I don't know why though. Okay. Would you rather have no eyebrows like this or no fingernails? This is an easy one for me. Lissetti, I'm shook. Oh my goodness, all of you who are saying you'd rather not have eyebrows, I would way rather not have fingernails. I don't think I'd even notice that they weren't there.
I'm with you
But-
on that one. I would give up my fingernails.
In like a second. Like,
Yeah.
guys, I feel like I would look crazy without eyebrows. Yeah, exactly. You could draw new ones. Okay, I think it's the last one. I think there's one more. And then we're going to jump into parallel lines. Would you rather give up ice cream or pizza for the rest of your life? Would you rather give up ice cream or pizza for the rest of your life? This is hard. People are saying ice cream. Oh no, but now there's also a lot of pizzas. I don't know what I would choose. Guys, this is a tough choice for me. Ice cream is disgusting. See, I'm tender. No. I think I would have to give up. I don't want to give up ice cream, but I think I would have to give up ice cream because I don't know if I could live without pizza. Oh yeah, you would still have milkshakes. And so that's kind of the same as ice cream. I'm agreeing. Let's give up ice cream. It's just frozen cream. Nice job, guys. Cool. Okay. Let's try to get our maths brains back on. We're going to quickly zoom through some parallel line work and then go from there. Okay. So let me move out so that you can see what Teacher Kat had written for you. Okay. So when we have parallel lines, I'm sure quite a few of you have done parallel lines in class already. Parallel lines, can anyone tell me how we know when lines are parallel? Like what's like the one thing about parallel lines? How do we know that they're parallel? Yeah, Setvile, can you tell me, how do we know lines are parallel?
The lines will have an arrow on them.
Excellent,
arrow.
good.
Yeah.
100%, they'll have this little arrow, so that little arrow and that little arrow telling me that those lines are parallel. Good. Tando, fun, that's what we're going to be working on. Exactly, Tando, that was the other answer I was looking for. When they do not meet, it's kind of like this really sad romance between these two lines. So let's call this line C and D. It's kind of like AB is desperately in love with CD, but they're never, ever, ever going to meet. They're just going to live their lives parallelly apart for their whole life. They'll never, ever touch. It's very sad. Parallel lines, so tragedy in the making. So parallel lines just mean that they have an equal distance apart forever. They're never going to touch, okay? And when we start working with geometry with parallel lines, we get this other line, which has got this fancy name called a transversal. So basically, that's just a fancy name for saying a line that cuts through the two parallel lines. That's all it's meaning. So it's going to cut through them and it's going to create a situation. When we have this transversal line, we can do all kinds of cool things. You and your crush. Damn, I'm sorry. Just think of it as like the ultimate friend zone, parallel lines. Nothing's happening. Exactly, the transversal is keeping them away from being in love. This sneaky guy. Okay, so when we have parallel lines, we're going to have all these different options. The first one is we've got corresponding angles. Okay, so let me just quickly show you what's going on here. we've got this line and this line, which are our parallel lines. And then we've got FE, which is the transversal. Okay, just so you see what those lines are. Now, when we do that, if we can create the shape of an F, that means left, right, upside down, or right, left, front. I'm going to show you what that looks like. We've got one parallel line, and then our transversal. Do you see how that's an F that's upside down? Then we know it's corresponding angles. And corresponding angles mean that this angle inside here is equal to that angle inside there. Okay, so whenever we see an F, we need to think of corresponding angles. This is also an F. It's just upside down and back to front. Here, we've got parallel line, transversal. That's also an F, and then just the wrong way around. Okay. So if we can find this F shape with our parallel lines, we know that we are looking at corresponding angles. Okay, and corresponding angles are always the same as each other. So for example, if this angle over here was 60 degrees, this angle in here would be 60 degrees. If this angle was 120, this angle would be 120. So they're always the same as each other. Okay, so that's our first rule. You can take a screenshot if you would like. And to answer the question in the chat, yes, you definitely are the best class. I told you, and you are living up to your reputation. Okay, next one we have is alternate angles. We're going to write something to sort of summarize this just now, but this is just to see what they all look like. Okay, so alternate angles is when we can find the letter Z. So here's my one parallel line, my other parallel line, and my transversal. Parallel line, transversal. Parallel line, transversal. So all of these are Z. Okay, and when we're working with Zs, which are called alternate angles, they are also equal to each other. So if this angle in here is 60, this one would be 60. If this was 130, this would be 130. So the angles inside the little crooked parts of the Z, they would always be the same as each other. Okay. So think about this as a Z or an N. And that's how we remember that one. Okay, and then our last one is co-interior angle. Now, co-interior angles are a little bit rude. They're the only ones which are different. So this one, we want to look for a U shape. So here's our parallel line, and our transversal. So all of these are our U's. Okay. And in co-interior angles, they are not equal to each other. When we add them together, they equal 180. So if I say this angle plus that angle, it's 180. This angle plus this angle is 180. This angle plus this angle is 180. So everything inside the U would be equal to 180 degrees. Okay, let's write a quick summary of this. Just going to put it here on the side. Zoom out for you. Okay, so I like to think of this as if we can think of two different things. So if you can think of the CIA, so you know the CIA from America, like the Secret Intelligence Agency. So if you can remember CIA, and then you think, well, the CIA is fun. Okay, so those are our parallel lines, those are our parallel lines, and those are our parallel lines. And so if you can remember those in order, let's go through what that would mean. So C is standing for corresponding. So gosh, my thumb goes. Corresponding is your F. That means this angle is equal to that angle. Next one, we've got our I. So that's going to be interior angles. Okay, so think of it as co-interior angles. That is our U. When we add them together, we need to get 180 degrees. And then our last one is A, which stands for alternate. And that is our Z. Those are equal to each other. Yes, maths is fun. So think about it as fun. The other way, so I just always think of it as CIA and fun. That's how I was taught when I was all the way back in school, and it has stuck in my brain. So I promise you it will stick in yours. And it's like a nice, easy way. I always find at the beginning of a geometry test, when you're still calm, before you're rattled by the test, if you just write this up somewhere on your piece of paper, you kind of go into the test nice and calm, you've got this there. And then when you start panicking, you can look at it and be like, all right. Okay, screenshot if you would like one. And no, you don't get another brain break. We did the brain break. We're gonna go into some questions. No, not another one. We're running out of time, guys. Got to do questions. Okay. Here we go. Okay, this might be a bit tough because it's going to have to be quite zoomed out for us to see all of it. But basically, we're wanting to match the word with its proper picture. Okay, so you need to tell me what I'm going to link 1 with, what I'm going to link 2 with, what I'm going to link 3 with. You're going to tell me which ones I would link. Okay, I'm going to help out a little bit. Just the one is missing something. Okay, let's see. So we can't revise graphs and gradients because we do follow a work plan. I'm just following what Ms. Cat wants you to do. Definitely don't think I can go rogue. I don't know if she'll ever forgive me.
Sorry, just in response to that, if you didn't see my response earlier, we just finished our topic on graphs and gradients. So all the videos from our lessons will be uploaded on the website or the YouTube channel if you want to go and watch them for revision.
There you go. 100% answer. Yay, thank you. Okay, we are seeing some answers. I'm seeing 1 with D, then we've got 3 and A, 4 and B. Oh, I'm liking some of these answers, guys. Maybe a little bit of extra time to finish this off. And then once we're finished, we're going to go through the answers. And then I think we need to give you your poll. Poll, not poem. Okay. Nice. Let's kind of go through these. Okay, so for one, we've got the answer of corresponding angles, which is absolutely right. So it would be D. So we're just going to write this over here, corresponding angles. And we know it's corresponding angles when we have the letter F, and that's what we can see over there, butaceous. Okay. 2, I'm seeing answers for supplementary angles. And for 2 supplementary angles, remember supplement, we're wanting to get bigger, think of it like the gym. So it's going to be 180 degrees, not 90. Okay, so we're going to go all the way down there. So these are going to be supplementary. So supplementary angles mean they add up to 180 degrees. So that angle plus that angle is going to be 180 degrees. Let's do our next one. 3 vertically opposite angles, and that is A. So this is vert up angles are equal, and that's if we have our bow tie situation, which we absolutely have over there. There's our bow tie. Next, we have got complementary angles. So complementary angles are 90 degrees. It is when it is to complement someone is the right thing to do. The complementary angles. Then we have got alternate angles. You see the different color here. Alternate angles. This one over here. Alternate. That's our Z. So there's our one parallel line, our other parallel line, and the transversal. And then our very last one is goodness, I'm in highlight mode. Let's change that up. Co-interior, and that means this one, let's call it X and Y. X plus Y equals 180. Glorious. And that's all we had to get through today, guys. You have been superstars.